The third test of the Ashes begins later tonight, about 11:30 UK time. England 2-0 down in the series. England cricket fans don't need me reminding them of that. So, yeah, sure. It's a 5-match series, so this one's pretty darn crucial, is it not? In a second, we're going to speak to the Australian cricket writer, much respected Jarrod Kimber. Before we speak to Jarrod, Ben Stokes has been talking about what he needs from his fellow England players. He says, I tell you what I need, real fight.
You can, show fight in all aspects of this game. If you're in the field, bowling, batting, whatever it is. That's, it's not specific to one thing. Just fight. Understand what you need to do as an individual in that moment for your team. There's some guys, especially when we're out in the field, where they don't actually, they don't have the opportunity to take the ball or influence a game like that. But, your responsibility doesn't just end there. You've got a responsibility to the team throughout the whole game. And knowing that and understanding that and, showing fight is, what we all need to do this week.
I mentioned the Australian cricket writer Jarrod Kimber joins us, and he joins us now. Jarrod, hi to you. I mean, show us fight. I would have thought that's a minimum requirement, Jarrod, don't you?
It's interesting when teams get down. It's always like we've got to try harder and we've got to fight more and whatever. It's like they've looked dumb, right? How about trying to be smart? They're playing dumb cricket, and they've been playing dumb cricket against the Australians pretty consistently since the first innings of this Ashes. Australia keeps showing them where to bowl, and England keep going, no, we know what we're doing. We're going to play our way. Just follow what the Australians are doing because it's working there. So, I mean, you can fight as much as you want. If you're going to play dumb, and England, have done some good things over the last couple of years under Brendan McCullum, but they've also been very dumb. It's hard to look at them right at the moment and go, fight is their issue. I would say dumb is their issue.
Now, the man beside me is bristling.
It's always a delight to have an unassuming Aussie give you a lecture, isn't it?
Yeah, but you love it because he's telling it as it is. Define dumb cricket for me, Jarrod. How come they're playing dumb?
So we saw in the second innings of Perth, Australia went, we're bowling a bit short here. Let's just bowl a little bit fuller and put some pressure back on England. And they did that, and they rolled England out quite cheaply. And England came out straight afterwards and bowled short again. But you've just been shown that the wicket had changed. You need to understand that and bowl in that way. We get to Brisbane, and England keep bowling short and fast, and Australia keep bowling fuller and fuller, and even slowing themselves down. They didn't even bowl at their top speed. One team's bowling really good and one team's bowling really poorly. Which are the two teams? I mean, the scoreline isn't lying, is it? England has played incredibly dumb cricket so far in this Ashes. I actually don't think there's that much between these teams. I just think that England have gone out of their way to shoot themselves in both feet.
Wow. And that's very honest because, as Jarrod said, I think there's much between them, really.
I think they bowled well in the first test. They certainly didn't bowl well in the second test, and it was expected that they were going to come up against a very difficult game with the pink ball cricket because it's not their leaning. But I think what you got to look at what Stokes is meaning. If you take it literally, which is not what he's saying, he's talking about. He might be talking about fighting your reactions. He might be talking about fighting the perspective that you have in favour of the team. I don't think he's talking about the one-dimensional idea that you just got to try harder. Because everybody knows that that's not the answer to the question. As Jarrod is saying, they've got to think their way through these challenges. They've got to put Australia into a situation where Australia are being made to feel uncomfortable rather than England constantly putting themselves in that situation. Well, I think he's saying fight the natural reaction that you have to certain things by doing it slightly differently.
Well, Jarrod, I really admire you because you say what you mean and you mean what you say. Will England start coming to the party, do you think, or are they heading for embarrassment?
It's so hard because, as I said, I don't think there's a lot between these sides, right? So I do think that it wouldn't take much for England to start playing better cricket and, win a test or two from here on in. The issue is playing in Australia, the world collapses on you, right? Like, especially in the smaller cities where, they don't have as much happening. When an Ashes test happens or any test happens, it's the talk of the town and all the pressure comes on. You go to a restaurant, everyone's having a go at you. Out on the ground, we've already seen fans being taken out of the stands for, attacking players. And usually what happens is England really struggle with that, right? And why I'm interested in the fight term compared to everything else is I don't think they have shown anything where they haven't tried hard or they haven't shown the instincts, as Simon was saying, or anything else. What they have constantly done so far is they have played the same kind of cricket on loop and it has been dumb. And Australia is a much smarter side. They're an older side, they're more experienced, and they're playing the conditions. The problem for England is once you get behind in Australia, we all talk about Australia's fight. We all talk about Australia, this incredible cricket side. Australia are the best front runners the world has ever seen. Australia gets in front, and it's good luck. That's the issue for England. I don't think it's a talent thing because I think they do have talented players, but it's very hard to come back in Australia. Of all the places in the world, it's probably one of the hardest.
Wow. If you're Ben Stokes then, what would you be saying to the players, Jarrod, before they go out this time? Because now it's serious, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that they've got stuck in a little bit, haven't they, to the whole Bazball thing, the whole Kool-Aid drink, believing that all the hype and everything. I think they have to say, what have we done so far that is right? And what have we done so far that is wrong? And let's just be honest. And I think there's been a big problem with this team when it comes to just having honest discussions with each other. The whole Zach Crawley thing, doesn't matter if he makes runs or not, we'll give him, cigars and champagne. How about he just makes runs, right? Like that is his actual job. That is what he's paid to do. And I think they need to have those really honest conversations, because if you're not having them when you're 2-0 down, what's the point?
Jarrod, before we leave you, and you've been quite magnificent and forthright, are England heading for a whitewash?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's not going to be a whitewash, but I'm not sure. You were talking about BetMGM before. I'm not sure I put my money against the whitewash, but I do feel that they're a good enough side to win a game in this series so far. But a lot has to change right at the moment for that to happen.
Jarrod, no matter what, you've got to come on and join us again after the next one. Will you do that for us?
Of course.
Fantastic. Love that. Jarrod Kimber, Australian cricket writer. I mean,
well, it's easy to be on a front foot when you're winning, isn't it?
No, but he's spelt it out there.
Sure, but the fact of the matter is it's easy to be in ascendancy. What the object of England is to make it uncomfortable for the Australians and then see how clever they are.
True.
And as much as a challenge for England players to be surrounded by the smallness of cricket played in certain towns that involves the whole audience. Imagine the flip side of it, if the Australians were put under pressure and see how they had to cope with an audience that was dissenting in their own country. Look, England bowled well in the first game. They batted appallingly in the second. So it's both ends of the spectrum. Everyone was raving about their bowling in the first game, saying that actually, besides the second innings when Travis Head came in and changed the direction of travel, England had bowled really well. And then in the second test, everyone expected them to bowl well, and they didn't, yet they batted better.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, it's gone both ends of the spectrum. What you want to see is England make these Australians, like we know them to be, snivellers when they get it on top, because they don't like it. They are on top fighters. They're flat track bullies, Australians. I like their mentality. I've employed Australians. I love it about them. But we've seen them when they come on top. We've seen their whining captain when opportunity comes.
He's got to you there.
We've seen Steve Smith crying and snivelling when it comes on top. So we know that we can get amongst them. So when I get an Australian coming on when they're on top, it does irritate me because I like to see them see the same attitude. See an Australian when they're losing. They're the worst losers, and I like bad losers because who wants to be a good loser? Right?
Quite right. talkSPORT will keep you updated throughout the night. And just a reminder, tomorrow, Steve Harmison and John Norman will review all the action at the end of the day's play on talkSPORT 2 and on the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel.